roll call, Public Works, February 7th, 6:41. Mr. Wolverton.
Here.
Ms. Gear.
Here.
Mr. Sims.
Here.
Ms. Nelms.
She's,
And Mr. Harper.
Here.
she is here, but
Did
she's
she?
coming back.
Nelms, okay.
She walked up for a second. All right, I have a motion to, for the reading. So,
Motion to dispense of the reading and approve the minutes. January 3rd.
all right, motion by Councilor Gear. Second. By Councilor Sims. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Mr.
so-
Chairman,
Yeah,
can I respectfully ask that you take 2501?
I was about to do that.
Okay, great.
so Robert, that's
Make sure
5-0.
it's 5.
Ms. Nelms was here too. All right, so we're gonna take 2501, 22 real quick. Request for consideration of work in the right of way to place a temporary construction barrier on part of the public sidewalk during demolition and renovation of the facade at 2808 18th Street South. John Ford, Circle Lighting, and Whiteview.
Okay,
Okay,
That's you.
Mr. Pugh's gonna go ahead.
Oh,
I'll just fill
Speak to it a
everybody
little
in.
bit.
So what the request is to place a temporary construction barrier along the sidewalk here on 18th Street while they do some demolition work on this storefront. This is the store that's currently called Ambiance. The criteria that they gave me was that it would be placed 4 feet off the existing building front, which would leave 4 feet 6 inches of sidewalk for the pedestrians.
correct.
Okay? Anything else?
How long are we looking to do this?
8 weeks to 10 weeks, depending on supply chain. Hopefully 8.
Right.
We've been there 2 weeks currently under permit doing interior demolition.
Which building is this?
And
It's where ambience.
the project is anticipated to take 14 weeks, including fixturing, not part of my contract. That would be 14 weeks, 2 weeks in, so there'll be 12 weeks left, including fixturing, but the barricade would not need to be there until I've completed the complete storefront demolition, new frame and glazed storefront at the same elevation as the city sidewalk. That's it.
And I know supply chain's an issue, clearly. Is there a way, I mean, it's a problem for us for not to be able to walk and everybody's always parking there and sometimes people have to go out the street.
Well, they've got 4 feet 6 inches of sidewalk, and just for a frame of reference, that's about what you have when you walk down and.
So you're saying you're not blocking the whole
They're not-
sidewalk?
No, let me address that. The image might be enlarged. Do you see the 2 trees?
Yep.
Yeah.
They are 8'6" off the property line. A 4-foot barricade would leave 4'6" pedestrian passageway between the tree on concrete sidewalk, allowing me to work inside to demolish the storefront and rebuild it. Rebuilding includes concrete foundations, because there's currently nothing there. It's an all-wall building. New structural columns to support the exterior storefront. Does that help you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. I
Mr.
thought it
Kendrick, is
does.
there?
It's a matter of convenience to contractor and the scope of the work. But it acknowledges the 4'6" clearance to the tree. Now, you'll notice, in addition, there's a post there, a light standard. Well, that's an addition 2 more feet. So you come from Battle, that white building, you see my protrusion. Currently, the storefront is 2 foot inside this very far pilaster. Blue on the white, near the white Battle storefront. that would be 4'6" pedestrian clearance. I personally measured it. At the light pole, there's like 7 foot. But then here, next to Sammy's sandwiches, that doesn't even operate, it becomes academic because it'd be 4'6", and then after that becomes JJ Office, an optometry store. So after careful consideration, we've submitted our request to build the barricade to the council members, the Department of Public Works. There are such drawings of that I brought along. I did not know if you wish to see them.
That would be fantastic.
Huh?
That would be
That'd be
great
great.
to see a rendering, and I'm
Well,
sure,
it's not a
I'm
rendering, it's just an architectural drawing.
sure Mr. Kendrick would probably need that as well. Oh, you do have it?
It has been submitted to Mr. Pugh, but I brought them just in case it didn't show up on your
I've
monitor.
not gotten,
Huh?
I've not gotten any.
Oh.
I spoke to a young
Go ahead,
lady.
excuse
up there
me.
on
I was not aware of
the
that.
phone. She
Here,
said she would be sending
please,
it.
do the first to look at it.
She never did.
Exactly.
I'm glad I made 3 copies.
Oh, goodness. Yep.
There is an actual dimensions
that's
of
right.
this storefront in my handwriting. I am a PU. I'm a contractor. See, the light is 9 foot. This is 8'9", leaving 4'6". 4'3", excuse me. Which is more than ADA required requirements. Is that good?
Sir,
I,
what you get is fine. Yeah.
okay.
I can see how.
I have the landlord's approval to do the work. I need your approval to keep me employed.
So,
That's pretty simple, isn't it, Wyatt?
Yes, I mean, I just know that if we approve work in the right of way, that there's gonna be, a sketch is gonna be needed to know like where the barricade's gonna be
Well,
placed.
that's the architect's
This is great.
drawing based on my handwritten stuff I did.
And as far as I was just gonna, I don't know that it's a big issue, but so you're using 4'6". I'm sorry, you're using 4 feet, you're barricading off, and 4'6" remains
For pedestrians.
for pedestrians. I know if we were talking about a standard sidewalk, typically you're trying to leave 5 feet for most clearance for pedestrians. Would 3.5 feet work for you to barricade, or is that kind of like the standard barricade dimension?
No.
And so
In
you need
fact,
that 4 feet.
in fact, from the storefront, in the new storefront, the structural drawings require a 4-foot square footer below grade along the front line of the store.
So there's a
So that's
specific
2
reason
foot,
for that.
and I need to have room to move manpower under life and safety. 4 foot happens to be what I need. In a mall, it's typically 3 foot. This is tailored to this particular property.
Okay, I just wanted,
And
I
its
wanted to see if
rationale
there
is
was
the
any
structural
flexibility there.
foundations.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You want some more?
Just a timeline,
Timeline for. the
You said
work?
8 to
I
10
only
weeks.
have
What
one
would the
more.
project start date be estimated to be?
I only have one more.
just a
Timeline
timeline,
for the
sir.
work? How long, when would you start the work?
With your approval, I put the barricade up right away. And then demolish the existing storefront, then rebuild it. Yes.
And then we said 10 to 12 weeks from.
14 less 2 is 12. So whenever I start, it'd probably take me 10 weeks with supply chain and other issues, testing agencies for foundation, consolidation, etc., to be sure it's completed. And of course, aluminum and the glazing here, because of condition 2 in this community, is 1 inch. this is just not sitting on the shelf. At this juncture, I'm uncertain, but I would volunteer 10 weeks. Which, and if I can do it in, if I can do it in 6, I'm going home to my wife. So I'm motivated more than you are.
Sure.
Well, maybe I'm not. Maybe I don't want to.
Well, let's not get too far down.
Let's not get up.
And what is the height of your, okay, sorry, I missed that.
12 feet.
And the materials to be used?
3 5/8 metal studs with 1/2 inch plywood with a slanted top that goes from 12 foot to 14 foot.
They've got a sign on there. Who is the tenant?
The tenant is Circa Lighting. It's currently exposed. I don't know what you call them in America. You have windows coming out that don't touch the ground. They're box out windows. What would you call them? Wyatt? I don't know.
Bay
what you call
window,
them.
sort of.
It's ugly.
Stay with us, stay with us.
Bay windows, yeah. And they're very large, and they've got Circa Lighting decals all over them, which of course is different. Decals. Yes, decals.
Okay, can I get back to, when
Yes.
you want to start?
As soon as you give me approval,
Well, let's start at 14th, which is next Monday.
I already have the product on the site awaiting approval.
So start the 10th.
Excuse?
It would have to be the
Yeah,
15th
the
because the
14th.
council's the 14th.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It has to be, I'd say the 15th.
The earliest it could be would be next Tuesday.
I anticipated the 15th
Yes.
before I came here.
Yes, that's what we're
That's a
talking
good
about.
day.
That would be the
So what,
earliest.
but I didn't have, that date didn't have a meeting to make. If I'm
We
here.
have a council meeting next Monday. So everybody, this committee only has 5 people on it.
Whole council.
The whole council has to vote to approve it. That council meeting with everybody voting would be next Monday night. So
I gotta
Tuesday
come here
morning.
again?
I mean, if you're not doing anything else for Valentine's Day, I mean, since your wife isn't here.
She's in Richmond, Virginia.
Well, you might as well come see us then. No, I mean, I think,
She doesn't get
I don't-
it.
I think we have a pretty good
I don't know that
feel
we
for
have to be
things.
here. I mean, what do y'all think?
I don't think you need to be here.
You don't
We
have to
got-
be here.
I will have somebody here at your request. I just need to know because I'm not too smart on council.
Well, I think everybody's saying that since you were here tonight to present, that you don't need to come back on Monday, because I think we have the information needed. Although you will need to be back to sign the indemnification agreement to work in the right of way.
Somebody would have to sign off on you assuming responsibility for,
Would myself as a general contractor?
You
be
could do it.
acceptable?
yes.
Okay.
So if you come Monday
His name
night,
will be Roger Wagner.
okay.
I will be going home on Saturday.
So who will be giving this permission to do this?
Your contractor, what's the name of your contractor?
Oh, Rectenwald Brothers Construction. Do you want my business
Yeah,
card?
yeah, once you give him your business card, city attorney.
I'm counting, starting February 15th for March, excuse me, April.
Okay.
Look at all this.
All right.
Is that all I need to do?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, I need to.
I would make a motion to approve the work in the right of way with the proper indemnification agreement.
Second.
Okay, motion by Counselor Sims, second. by
How do I
Counselor
get the indemnification?
I'll send it to you.
He's gonna send it to you. He'll email it to you.
Oh, you've got my email now.
I do.
Okay, thank you.
All right, all in,
Aye.
Aye.
any opposed? All right, so that's,
Andrew, who was the second?
Sims and,
Here. Here was, Billy, here was second. Okay,
Sims and
thank you.
Gear. Sims was.
The motion.
The motion, second.
Should I leave now?
Yeah, you can make.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your patience.
Thank you. Thanks, Mike. Yeah,
What part of London you from? South?
Sydney, Australia.
God, I'm so far off.
Don't insult him.
Yeah.
Don't insult him.
call me.
I got it. The last guy was from Australia too. Sydney.
On a kangaroo.
Oof.
Hard to figure it
Tough.
Okay, so So the top bid,
Get that one big one.
All right.
I've never heard any truth so loud out loud.
Because he asked 4 times
Because he
and
couldn't
he
hear.
did
He was
this a
hard
couple
hearing.
times. He clearly couldn't get for seconds. All right, we're gonna do old business 010220. Request for updates on Green Springs revitalization. Mr. Berkeley Squires.
I ain't got anything. They finally should be back out this week, both the concrete and the landscape down from COVID. So,
I was gonna say, they disappeared for a while.
yeah, they had lost, landscape lost 9 folks to COVID. So they should be back out probably this week.
All right. We'll carry that over without objection. Last item under new business is 290122, request for consideration of adding gutters to 100 block of Wiltshire.
And we already talked about it in finance and they approved it.
and they approved it with stormwater, the consideration to use stormwater.
Right, move to approve it.
Wiltshire on that.
So back in the day, we used to not mill and we would just pave and we that's how the gutters and then the water was given last year. To pave over the work that they had done, they just paved all the way out to the curbs. And so now the water just streams out the road and then when it freezes, the cars and people.
So the gutter needs to be put back in.
We have no
place.
gutters, correct.
Gotcha.
2 gutters.
All right,
I make a motion to approve 290122.
Second.
motion by Councilor Sims, second by Councilor Gear, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, 5-0, stand adjourned.
And do we even need that one?